Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome. And I want to thank you all sincerely for coming out today to share together this really momentous event in Lakewood's history, the opening of the W Rail Line. Yeehaw! You know, I think it's fitting that we're here at the Lakewood Wadsworth Station where, beginning at 10 a.m., we will be celebrating Lakewood's past, present, and future. And gathered here today, and it was really important for us to do this, are so many people who have laid the foundation for this great city. There are pioneers here who founded the city and served on city council over the last 4 decades. And visionaries who volunteered their time on the planning commission back when light rail was really just a concept. Staff members with the city, with RTD, and organizations who labored through that detailed work of planning, designing and building the line. You performed that frontline work by attending countless meetings. When I say that, I think of Roger Wadnell, right? Countless meetings, listening to the community members, making sure we got this line just right. And by that I mean finding that balance between building this 21st century transportation system and protecting the character of the residential neighborhoods, the historic neighborhoods through which it runs. You know, I always like to say this is an effort that goes back 18 years to the major investment study in 1995. That's when I first became involved. But Linda Morton and many neighbors remind me that, in fact, it's an effort that's been going on for much longer than that, certainly back to the 1980s. So maybe it's the old history major in me, but I just thought it was really important that we spend this time together today to, all of the generations of leadership in Lakewood, to get to know each other a little bit better and to celebrate this milestone together. Now, forgive me if I don't introduce all of the elected officials and all the former elected officials that are here today, but I do want to make special note of 2 people. As I said at yesterday's festivities, I get to do this. I have the privilege of doing this, and boy, do I love being interrupted by the noise of a train. How great is that? And by the way, it's very quiet. I get to do this today because of the hard work, the groundwork, the foundation that was laid before me by my predecessors, Mayor Steve Burkholder and Mayor Linda Morton. Would you guys stand? Timing is everything. I would not be here today if it were not for Steve and Linda. And to our community members who are here from the Iber and Two Creeks neighborhoods, the West Colfax Community Association, what can I say? I simply say thank you. Thank you for being involved in your community, in your neighborhoods, and for helping us guide this project. And really, most importantly, thank you for putting up with that very disruptive construction for the last 4 years. We know how hard it was on you, and we know it was a monumental burden, and we want you to really understand how thankful we are to all of you. And also, obviously, want to thank RTD and the Denver Transit Construction Group for getting this project done on time, actually 8 months early, so we can celebrate it on this glorious Colorado morning. So why have we spent 8 years very deliberately and strategically planning? Why have we invested millions of dollars in betterments and infrastructure, like this beautiful canopy you see here over the Wadsworth Station, and this beautiful garage, which we worked with RTD on designing? We have done that because, very simply, over the next 2 decades, light rail is going to transform the community of Lakewood. The W Rail will give people and businesses new ways and new reasons to come right here to Lakewood. We will all have more choices on where and how to live. Today's young people and young families, and this is statistically proven, they care really more about where they live than where they work. They want to live near urban amenities. They want to be near transit. Well, they want, in many cases, a smaller home. Well, what better place than 10 minutes from downtown, 10 minutes from the mountains, and a sparkling new light rail line running through it. We are in a very good position here in Lakewood. But it's not just young people. It's this kind of lifestyle has appeal across all demographic spectrums. Older adults and empty nesters like me also want a transportation option that we can use to get to shopping, entertainment, doctor's appointments, you name it. An option that does not require us to drive. And this will become even more important as we look down the road and Lakewood, Jefferson County, and Colorado are all aging. It will not be long before 1 in 4 people in the metro area will be 60 years old or older. The gray tsunami, I've got a little bit of that, is on us. And I keep stressing the point that this rail line is so much more than a commuter line from the so-called bedroom community of Lakewood to downtown Denver. It is, in fact, very much of a two-way line. It's what's called a destination connector, linking the employment centers from downtown to the Federal Center, the St. Anthony Medical Campus, and the Jefferson County Government Center, linking educational institutions from Auraria downtown to Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design to Red Rocks Community College to Colorado School of Mines. Did you know that every day 50,000 people commute outside Lakewood to their jobs, but another 50,000 people commute inside Lakewood to go to work here? Very much of a two-way connector. So just think, speaking of employment centers, think how important this line is going to be to our major employers. In fact, 3 of our top 5 employers in the city of Lakewood, Terumo BCT, St. Anthony Hospital, and of course the Denver Federal Center, are located right at light rail stations. And as I keep saying, before long, before we know it, the east line to DIA will be open and Lakewood will be connected to the world by rail. So when Terumo BCT, when that was acquired a year and a half ago, by a Japanese company, their headquarters are right here in Lakewood. When they have another international meeting like they had last April, the world will be able to travel by train all the way to their headquarters at the Oak Street Station. I find that incredibly exciting. So these kinds of opportunities are connecting major employers by rail to places like the Federal Center. As we look down to the future, look at that horseshoe property in the middle of the Federal Center there. Part of it's owned by RTD, much of it is currently owned by GSA. We're working very closely with Sue D'Amour, who is here today. Where are you, Sue? The regional administrator of the GSA, to kind of repeat the model that we did with the St. Anthony Medical Campus. And we have the opportunity to create something really, really special in there, something that aligns with the values of the community of Lakewood, but build a transit-oriented community, multimodal transportation center, and that piece of ground right there holds a very, very exciting future. I've said many times that our real estate will be more accessible, in increasing its value. I happened to read a study last week they did in 5 major metropolitan areas around the country earlier this year. Housing with access to transit consistently sells at prices 42% higher than housing without such access. Whether it's an up market or a down market, that difference is over 40%. So to emphasize this point about the popularity of housing, the train right now has been open for exactly 24 hours. We already have 6 housing projects underway in the city of Lakewood. If you have a chance, just go to the next stop east of us and you'll see the magnificent Lamar Station crossing coming out of the ground, a project of our very own Metro West Housing Solutions, the Housing Authority. So, and we talk about connectivity, right? So in conjunction with yesterday's opening, Belmar has started a shuttle that's going to run every half hour back and forth during the hours that the stores are open there. So that kind of, the shopping and dining will be readily accessible to not just us in Lakewood, but people all over the metro area. Just again, the next stop east on Lamar, 40 West Arts District. It'll be the gateway to Lakewood's newest arts district. Make sure to visit the station party there, and indeed all our station parties. There's going to be an incredible amount of fun the rest of the day here up until 4 o'clock. But in particular, Lamar is going to be the station at Lamar on the 40 West Arts District is going to be a catalyst for people coming from all over the metro area to help reinvigorate that part of Colfax Avenue. You know, we have 7 stations in Lakewood, and we have very meticulously planned around 6 of those stations, other than Red Rocks. We believe that each of those stations represents a gateway into our community, and each station brings a unique possibility for our future. The community understands this, and the parties that you'll see later today, nearly 1,000 people have come together, whether it's planning of the station area plans or planning for these parties today. They understand, we all understand how important these new gateways to our community are. I want to thank each and every one of you for your work for many, many years in planning these station areas, your work for many, many months in planning today's events. This station is just an example of, I think, the foresight that the city of Lakewood has had. I mean, look at what we were able to do over here. We have a transit stop that was actually on top of a state highway on Wadsworth. What we felt was very important to enhance the ridership experience and to create the signature gateway into Lakewood to build this canopy. We thought it was very important to take the advantage to widen the bridges at Wadsworth and Kipling to create an above-grade bike path. We thought it was very important to get with RTD early on the design of this garage so we could create this community gathering place you see in that plaza down below. So we believe, with the help of RTD, that we've created a real landmark at this station right here. And we really thank RTD for allowing us to name this station after our community. This is officially the Lakewood Wadsworth Station. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us to get this right, and we think history will bear out that we did exactly that. So in closing, I really believe that this light rail line, as I said earlier, is going to absolutely transform this community for the better. Today, despite the fact that it's the culmination of 18 years of work, is also the beginning of an entirely new era in the city of Lakewood. We wanted all of you to be here with us today to celebrate that new era, and I think it's time that we kick off that new era with a toast. I see lots of people reaching for their glasses. That's a good thing. To all of you, congratulations for a job well done. Lakewood, our time is now. Thank you.